everyone, and welcome back to another time trial video. Yes, it's the second one of the day, and we're in that Toyota Supra at Tokyo Expressway, south counterclockwise, as you can see right there. You don't have to use the Supra, it's selected Group 3 cars. This is in relation to the World Series that's coming up in London, which I'm going to. Racing soft tyres, I've put this as hard in terms of the walls, at least to get the 2 million. To get the bronze, it's much easier because it's only 20%. I did put a 157.6 there as the gold estimated time. Now, if you enjoyed this video, as always, give it a like, subscribe to the channel to stay in touch with all the latest content. But without further ado, we're going to jump into this one. One of my favourite tracks, of course, because of what happened when I was in Monaco 2020 competing at the live event. And I had one of the best drives of my life at that live event. First up then, the first brake marker. As you head towards turn number 1, what we're looking for here is the 50 board or the highway marker. Now, I prefer the highway marker over the 50 board. The reason for that is a little bit earlier, and I feel like if you brake that little bit earlier, you may actually get a better line through this corner. As it disappears off the screen, I drop to 4th gear. I then short shift to 5th gear. Weirdly, in this Supra, you short shift it now. So you go to where the gear indicator is. Notice how the revs go up. We get to the square there, and then we change to 6th gear. Continue on up towards the dockyards section there. Now, this is where I did one of the most insane moves I've ever done. But in terms of time trial, at least, what you're looking for here is either the start of the curb, the 100 board, or that little bit on the wall on the left-hand side. Now, I use the 100 board here, but I brake before I get to it. You've got to brake before you get to the 100 board or the start of the curb. Pick and choose your brake marker there, but you need to brake before you get to that point. Drop to 2nd gear and really start to cut all of the insides here. Short shift to 3rd gear now and start accelerating. The car will start to stabilize very nicely. As you go through here, though, it might lose the rear end a little bit. So go to 4th gear and just be careful of the exit there. I invalidated so many laps because of that exit. It really is frustrating. Next brake marker then, once again, highway markers down at the bottom there. So as you get to these, they'll hit just the bottom of your screen. You're going to hit the brakes. Now, I've stayed in 4th gear. I haven't short shifted to 5th gear here. I've stayed in 4th gear. I'm going to dab the brakes, chuck it in, and let the car roll through this corner a little bit. Once again, another frustrating corner here. Notice that I let it roll and then instantly get on the throttle when I feel I'm going to make it round the corner. Now, it did cost me some time there. Definitely could have carried a bit more speed here. But we're going to get to our first sector. So there's a lot of time in that sector 1, and you really do have to focus on the dockyards, especially the exit, because that's where I invalidated most of the laps. Going to continue on here now, all the way up to the hairpin, the infamous hairpin, where, of course, I was involved in the big accident at the end of the race. So, on the left-hand side, we've got the 200 board, but we're looking at the 150 board. We're actually braking just after it, but we have to brake before the pillar that I've also highlighted there underneath the 150 board. Okay, so it's after the 150, but before the pillar. You're going to brake down to 2nd gear. You may want to go to 1st gear. I think I go to 1st gear on this particular lap, but 2nd gear, just doing it in 2nd gear is absolutely fine. So as we come into here, yeah, I do drop to 1st gear, but straight back to 2nd there. And then we're going to accelerate on the exit. Be careful, power oversteer on exit. Very easy to get there. And then you can clip the wall and then invalidate your lap, which is really annoying at this moment in time because you're 1 minute 20 seconds into it. So we're going up the hill and this, the S is coming up here is a very interesting one. So we've got the 50 board there, okay. You have two choices. You can dab the brakes and chuck it in, or lift off and go into this. Now, midway through this corner, I'm going to drop to 4th gear. I'm going to start in 5th. I would advise just lifting and letting the car roll into the corner, but let's see what I do here, and that's exactly what I do there. I dab the brakes a little bit there, just kind of a bit too much speed, nothing major though. As we go into here, it's just all about lifting off and making sure you don't hit that inside wall as we head over towards the right-hand side, and our final brake marker there, the 50 board. So as that hits the top of your screen, you're going to hit the brakes. You're going to drop to 3rd gear. You want to brake really hard, really quickly, then release the brakes and try and get the car turned in, and then you're going to short shift to 4th gear. So there's a lot happening here on this final corner, and let me show you how to do that then. So 3rd gear, lift off, and then we go up to 4th gear. We did a little on and off there. That's a real trick in the turbo cars, okay? On and off the throttle allows the rear to settle very quickly and doesn't get too much power oversteer. We head towards the line. This isn't even my fastest lap because I've got to save the fastest lap. That's a 155.018 there. I'm going to now go on the pad lap then as we go through this first corner. You know how we always say you could get gold in 2 minutes? Well, this is my very first lap on the pad, and this is why I say this sort of stuff, because you can do it in 1 lap if you want to. Let's go into the docks then. On the pad, we're doing the same sort of thing here. So we're going to go through here. We're in 3rd gear now, just following the ghost up ahead. We continue on through here, cutting the inside, just being careful there. Go towards left-hand side, up to 4th gear. Slight lift there to avoid hitting the barrier. So I wanted to do this first time to show you can do it first go. So we're going to head here then. Highway marker is our marker. As we go through here, let the car roll a little bit, then we went on throttle. We actually did that quicker than on our wheel lap there as we continue now towards the hairpin. We'll just fast forward this bit because there's not much going on there. As we come up here then, remember, it's just after the 150 and before the pillar after the 150. There's 150. Hit the brakes then as we drop to second gear. I'm not sure we're going to go to first on this particular one. No, we're not. We go around the corner. We're just being careful there on exit. Notice there we lifted off a little bit just to allow the rear to settle itself. And we continue on out there and head towards the S's. You want to know, it is my first lap. Look down the bottom left. It's there. It's just 3.6 miles. That's all I've done so far in this car. So as we go into here then, we lift off and then we're going to drop to fourth gear. Now, I actually carried too much speed here. I didn't lift off early enough. So I'm compromised on the S's now. Notice there, I'm just understeering just off the racing line. But even so, this is still a gold lap as we get to the 50 board there, brake to third gear, and then we're going to short shift to fourth gear. This is a gold lap. It's my first attempt there. So you can do it in 2 minutes if you nail it. Or if you watch the video and then go and do it, because I've given you all the markers. There's a 566 there for you. What we're now going to do is jump to chase cam then. So here we go. Into the left-hander we go. We're on ABS week, by the way, as we continue on through here. We'll fast forward these bits again where it's just flat out. So as we head towards the docks, remember the 100 board, the curb, they're the main two things you're looking for. You have to brake before you get to them, okay? And we're going to cut a lot of the inside. We trail brake into this first part. We're going to short shift to third gear and then start accelerating. Early in the revs, low down in the revs, the car doesn't really power oversteer, so you can very much get on the throttle earlier than you realize. And look how close I got to the barrier there. That was extremely close here. We're going to head up here then. Highway markers are our brake marker, fourth gear as we go into here, and we're going to then get on the accelerator. So we were 2 miles an hour slower than our pad lap there in terms of apex speed, which is very interesting indeed. Shows you that there is more time in this lap, and as I say, this is even my fastest lap right now. We're going to continue on up here then, looking for the 150 board, and then we'll brake just after that then as we hit the brakes. We're going to drop to first gear on this particular lap, but second gear is absolutely fine, as you saw on the pad lap. Accelerate out of the corner, straighten up as quick as you can, avoiding that barrier on the left-hand side, especially if the tail wants to come out a little bit here on chase cam then. So we're going to head up towards the S's. So the 50 board is our marker. Lift off, turn in, then drop to fourth gear in the middle of the corner. There we go. Happy days. Accelerate, then lift as we turn, then accelerate, then lift as we turn, and then accelerate once again. Get over towards the right hand side, 50 board there, hit the brakes, third gear, release the brakes, turn in, short shift to fourth gear, exit the corner and power towards the line, staying on the inside line if you're on your fastest lap, because that's the shortest way to the line, and that's one way in terms of getting gold and just lowering that lap time a bit more and beating your friends as well. Right, let's go on a VR lap. We won't fast forward any parts of this. We did a few laps on VR as we head towards turn number 1. Then we're looking for the 50 board or the highway marker. We hit the brakes, fourth gear, turn in, and then we short shift to fifth gear and accelerate out the corner. Now, one thing I will say with VR, you cannot tell in the Toyota Supra at least where the heck the right side of this car is, and it cost me a lot of time initially on the first few laps. I slowly started getting used to it, but it's still not there for me, and I really needed to, if I do a lot more laps here to get an idea. So as we come into here then, remember there was a 100 board there at the start of the curb. We short shift to third gear. We're going to start accelerating, and it's these moments in time when it's the right hand side of the car. I'm not fully sure where it is. On the left, it's great. I know exactly where the car is as I go through there. We're going to head up towards this right-hander. You can stay in fourth gear for this one. At the highway marker there, we dab the brakes, chuck it in, let the car roll a little bit, and look at this. We are so close to that wall, but I still can't tell how close I am. Am I a millimeter off, or am I a mile off? Not 100% sure right now. We continue on though, and we're a little bit down on our fastest lap, 4 tenths down. But even so, it's not too bad on VR on our 5th lap as we head towards the hairpin now. One thing to note as well on VR, I'm not sure 100% where to shift. I was going with the middle lights there, just because I don't have the bar to have a good representation of that. As we come up to here then, just after the 150 board, just before the pillow, we hit the brakes. Pillow? It's a pillatage, not a pillow. As we go into this right-hander then, accelerate early here. Now, I do suffer a bit of oversteer here sometimes on VR, but that's because I really wanted to get on the throttle. I also invalidated 2 laps on that corner because I got it wrong, because I couldn't tell where the apex was on the inside line. Heading towards the SE7 once again. It's going to get tricky here. We chuck it in, and look how close we get. I'm pretty sure I'm very close there. Accelerate, lift as we turn. Accelerate, and then lift as we turn. Then accelerate, head over towards the right side. The 50 board's right there. Drop to third gear, then up to fourth gear on the exit, and then we're going to accelerate all the way to the line here then. And this is a VR lap, and once again, this is a gold time. I don't have any ghosts available for you, unfortunately. The lap times are very competitive. I did try, but we've had vaccinations for the baby today, so Ayana is pretty unsettled at the moment, and that's why also this video is a bit late. I do apologize for that. If you do want to get there though, go to sport mode in the top right hand side here then, and then you've got daily races and online time trials. So click the online time trials on the right hand side there, and then you got 3 time trials that you can do. So we're going to go to Tokyo Expressway this time around. We click into there, and on the top left you can see the gold, silver, bronze. Look at bronze, plus 20%. So really you can just jump into this very quickly and earn 500,000 credits very, very, very fast. You can also go to the leaderboard by looking at laps on here as well. I think I'm just outside the top 10 with my fastest lap at the moment. I may jump on the future. We will wait and see, because this is one of my favorite tracks. As I said, at the World Series 2020 Monaco Grand Final, I did one of my best drives ever here. Well, our team did, in fact. We had a strategy, and then I had to perform on my stint to go from, towards the back, because we had to fuel save so much to get towards the front. And all our team did amazing there. And a shout out to both of you there as well. That's it for me though, folks. A big thank you for watching as always. If you have enjoyed it, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Give a time trial. It's right there if you're struggling at Alsace test course, or the Alpine as well is also on your screen. Do check out my partners down below. Once again, a big thank you for watching as always, and I hope to see you in a video or live stream again very soon.